we're just saying that when Norwood and Beebs play, we're just gonna all mute like ourselves, just to be sure.
Okay.
Just to make, but it sounded great. The adjustment you made, like I hear everything really sick.
Okay,
Okay,
kill
so you watch when they do.
Yeah.
I think I'm a.
Hey, Norwood.
I'm gonna share it up.
All right, what's happening, family?
So here's the thing, guys.
All right, so Sheila, are you checking? Are we live? We should be live.
Let me check.
So Norwood, you can just flip your background like that, right?
Yeah.
In the studio.
When it comes on, I'm in the studio.
So beam yourself up from Los Angeles.
No, I'm not seeing it live.
But the background?
No, I think she's talking about the
On
stream.
the page, I don't see it.
Any minute, we should be just
Oh,
any
wow.
second now. We should be.
And here's the deal. I thought we would talk about Norwood and the drive-in movie theater in the
Yeah,
beginning.
that's good.
That was part of my plan
Yes,
too.
Okay.
Awesome sauce.
Okay, we're live.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Well, we are.
Okay.
Hey everybody, we're live. We're a couple minutes before we actually go live, but you're backstage pre-show with the Rock and Talk Show. If you want to join us, how do people join us? Should we just give out the Zoom link and let's bring some people in today because we only have one special guest today.
We
That's
can.
right.
We can.
We should.
Oh,
Do we know?
I see.
Do you
There's
know the?
Derek.
There it
Derek's been
is.
on for a while.
Yeah. We were on.
I guess we're on.
We were doing all kinds of stuff.
I guess we're on.
Yes. Yes, we are live. Okay, we're about 1 minute from like our actual intro.
Everybody tense up.
Everybody out there.
Everybody get
Intro
nervous.
is coming.
The intro is coming. All right, let me start
Fabulous cash prizes.
preparing for that intro.
Going live. 3, 4.
Yep, exactly. All right, not yet, but all right, guys, here we go. Quiet on the set. Let's see if we can hear it this time. Here we go. Quiet on the set. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Rock and Talk Show. We are live on the Moss Man, and we got our usual cast of clowns and characters, friends, right word here. We got Derek Day, the art bird, up here in the corner with the amazing hat. We got the one and only Scott Page over here from Pink Floyd. We have Norwood Fisher from Fishbone. Kenny Olson from the Twisted Brown Trucker Band, the Hendrix Experience, Kid Rock, and the co-producer and co-host Sheila Conlon. Our brother Stephen Perkins is in a recording studio doing something special, which we're not going to talk about, but hopefully he's going to join us a little bit before the show is over. How you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Great.
Doing good.
Everybody doing
Beautiful
good?
outside today. It's a gorgeous day here in Los Angeles, right?
Well, I'm actually up in Humboldt County, and it is an absolutely beautiful, epic day here in the Redwoods on the Lost Coast. And it feels so good to be up here. I got to tell you, escaping the madness of the city is just beautiful. How you doing, Derek?
Can't complain, just happy to be here and, good.
You got a new hat. Tell us about your hat. I like it.
Tell us about that hat. Where did that come from?
This is my friend Mosquito let me use it. We call him Mosquito because he looks, like a mosquito.
So he's got a little head and long legs and
Big hair. No, he's a professional dancer, and he has a signature move called the Stinger. You have to see him do it live. He's incredible. And but yeah, he always just he just throws me shit, and I'm sorry stuff, and then like I just wear him like yo.
you can't say shit. You can't say shit on live TV.
Wait, I want to know this move. I want to know the Stinger. What does it look like? Show us.
Yeah. What's the
I
Stinger
can't
look
do
like?
it. Super acrobatic. I don't know.
Are we
He's like-
talking about a move?
Yeah, dance move. He's a professional break dancer. He's been on America's Got Talent and stuff. And I met him when I was playing on the street on the Santa Monica Promenade. We're like buddies for over 10 years. We kicked it a couple days ago, and yeah.
I like it. It's a good look for you. I like that hat. I like it a lot. Well, first of all, let's take a quick second to thank our last guests from the last show. John Phillips from Silverback Music. It was great to have JP on the show with us. And Will Dog, founding member and bass player of Ozo Motley. It was great to have both of those guys on the show last week. We have a really cool special guest this week, but we'll hang out for a few minutes and wait for him to show up. I might actually have to send him a text message to remind him.
That's what I love about live television.
What's everybody been doing for the last 2 weeks? Scott, you got anything exciting going on?
Gosh, let's see. Yeah, just working on, we did our little show thing that we did, the actual little promo piece for our new little business that we're kind of pulling together. Remember when we did our thing? It looks fantastic. So I'm very excited about that. We're working on some possibilities for a few of these, which Norwood can talk about, these drive-in shows. We've got a couple other opportunities. So working on that, myself doing that, and then just been working in my yard, fixing my house that I've been trying to do for the last 15 years. I'm finally getting the opportunity to fix all this stuff. So I'm just doing that right now. It's good. Weather's great. Can't complain.
I had a good conversation with the police chief of a local city, which we won't mention just yet, about the idea of doing a similar thing to what they were doing in Ventura, and he was all about it. So we're going to have some more conversations about that in the very near future and see if we can, make some more of that happen. Norwood, you guys kind of did a little historic event over the last weekend.
It was amazing, and funny enough, I got to kick it with Will Dog because both our bands performed. So Fishbone, Ozo Motley, 1-2 punch to the Ventura County Fairground audience, the drive-in show. It was incredible.
Wow.
Cool. So talk a little bit about it. Like it's still hard to kind of conceive. People were in their cars. There was no PA. It was all done through FM.
There's a radio tower on a hill just very close by the Ventura County Fairgrounds, and the guy who owns it kind enough to let us use his very expensive toy and provide sound to everybody in the parking lot. And so yeah, music pumped into the car stereos, and people were able to actually, some people got out of their cars and danced, which it was nice to actually see that. It's very unusual to play to a sea of cars. Did
you have any bouncing, dancing cars?
I did not see the lowriders in action, but I'm sure that'll be that'll be in the near future. Like I'm sure, but man, it was just amazing to be able to get with my band and actually perform for people. And the other thing that maybe it'll take some getting used to is people honking for applause.
Whoa, that's weird.
Flashing lights and honking horns. You know what it's about, but it's kind of like, okay, I wasn't, they didn't prime me for this exactly.
What about, you did it in the round? Is that correct? You were in the round?
Yeah, it was in the round. Cars.
How was that like? Was it?
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't a moving stage. Like we've done that before, but they're usually like, you know, buildings that are set up like that. And I was talking to some of the staging guys, and I think that to have a moving, like a stage that would go around in that setting would be really difficult.
So whoever's behind the drums basically is looking at the back of the stage the whole time.
Well, fortunately, my drummer, Fish, my brother,
he faces the other way.
Exactly. Hey, he's been doing that for decades. So, you know,
You should get your brother Fish on here. Why don't we get him on here?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Be happy to come on and party with us.
Yeah.
So it was.
How many car rows were there? Like
that part, I don't know, and I'm not exactly sure how many cars showed up. I want to think that they were capable. That it was possible to put 400 cars in the lot.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay, little bird whispered to me it was 417 cars there.
Okay. Oh. Wow.
So, yeah. So these things, it was like, and the one thing that like. A day or two before, we got a real warning that the CDC was going to be looking at us would be under the CDC microscope, and that, you know, if violations, the promoter would be penalized heavily, and it could have maybe, in fact, the future of these in California at least. And as far as I know, no problems.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So what was the vibe like? I mean, you know, you said that the horns were honking and stuff, but did you get to talk to the audience afterwards? I mean, I know you had a social distance, but did they enjoy it? Did they feel like a live performance?
I think the most feedback I got was online, and maybe calls from personal friends that thought it was awesome, that really enjoyed it. And it was like, you know, some parts it was difficult for us to tell on stage, you know, because it was such a, you know, such a unusual event. Like, you know, you don't live your life as a musician growing up thinking, yeah, I'll play the drive-in one day. Not like that, right?
Did they have concession stands?
Actually, 0 concessions.
Really?
There was like, yeah, there would be no exchanging of anything. See, this is COVID-19 reality, right? So that was a part of it.
So my understanding, even the merch was outside the venue. Like once you were in the venue, technically you weren't, like, what if you had to go to the bathroom? Were there restrooms that people
Yeah,
could
there were restrooms. There were restrooms, yes, but really, and yeah, there were porta potties. You know, you got that many people, you got to have porta potties, if nothing else. But really, you know, they stuck to the guidelines to keep people safe, to, you know, and, you know, hey, if I didn't say it before, like, I do not want to do anything that will result in 35 people got COVID-19 at a Fishbone show. 3 are deceased.
Right.
I'd rather not play.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, it seems like everything went really well, and no reports of COVID-19 transmission since the show.
Hey, Tiffany, I got to say hi. Tiffany's watching. Hello there. Nice to see you out there. Start a watch party if you're watching us. Share this link with your friends. How was Ozo Motley's set?
I didn't see one note, unfortunately.
You were probably sleeping.
Not this one. I was in the dressing room, but maybe I did nod out a little bit, but
Maybe.
Be honest,
It's just Navy.
I sat in the chair and I nodded out, but it was minimal.
So I got a question. I have a question. Someone's asking, Wayne is asking, did you guys broadcast over the internet as well, or was it just local?
There was no proper live stream. Pablo, who runs Fishbone's social media, came down and he did some renegade live streaming onto the Fishbone webpage. And there were probably more people doing things of that sort, but they did, as far as I know, there was not live streaming set up properly.
Kenny.
Yeah.
What have you been, where are you? You're back in Michigan? You're in.
Yeah, after I was just when was I out? I was out there 3 weeks ago. I'm just here till I guess I come back out. We get together again here soon, hopefully.
We gotta go hang in the backyard again.
I know, but I mean, I've been up here in Traverse City, up here on the water, and been golfing, riding, hanging, enjoying the, beautiful weather we've had. I'm going out on a old Chris Craft tomorrow. The old big, that's gonna be pretty fun. Supposed to be a beautiful day. So until I get back out there, which is going to be soon, hopefully, I'm just, enjoying it all. And
so did you cut your hair, or is it just wrapped up in a bun under the hat? Okay, there you go.
I was out on the golf course today.
They don't allow long hairs out there, do they?
No long hairs on the golf course.
No, they don't mind. It's just it gets in your face when you're trying to hit. So
you didn't hurt yourself today playing golf, did you?
No. I actually played pretty good, today.
What's your handicap?
Me.
Wow.
So we have a special guest today.
What about Derek? Wait, before we go, I want to know what Derek's been doing.
We started with Derek about the hat, but Derek, tell us what. But you're right, Scott. You're right. We need to hear more from Derek.
Yeah.
Derek, you've been recording too. What's going on?
Well, I've been working very, very diligently. I'm writing with a bunch of different writers, dudes from like Buck Cherry and this really cool songwriting group, The Heavy, and just working really like with a bunch of different writers every day. I'm trying to record in September, except I was supposed to try to record at the end of July, and then it was moved to the end of August, and now it's moved to the end of September, just because of our what's been going on. So hoping to finish my album this year. If not, that's fine. Just more time to writing. So just writing literally just every day on my calendars. This guy writing with it, just trying out different stuff. So just being really creative, sometimes staying up till 4 a.m, waking up at 4 and doing it again. I'm like, I'm living a weird writing life right now.
I love that when you and Keith, Nelson, when you got from Buck Cherry were in this writing together, you guys sent me that that text with a picture of you guys. That was awesome to see you two work.
Damn it! I should have brought that. Yeah, because Kenny Olson, you and Keith Nelson.
Oh, Keith, that's my brother from another. Him and I go way back, many years on tour together, and played a lot of music, had a lot of fun.
We got another buddy. We got another buddy out there. We got to throw a shout out to Norwood. We got CM is out there watching us right now.
Okay, CM talent.
He's just saying hey and hello. So there you go. What up, CM?
All right, that's a soldier right there.
So Sheila, what have you been up to?
Well, working on the Rock and Talk Show.
Perfect.
We have our Facebook page is up now, The Rock and Talk Show. We have our Instagram at The Rock and Talk Show, so check it out. So we're getting, a little bit bigger and better, guys. And, so like us on both of those pages, and you'll be seeing some more good stuff from us soon. And then on the other side, working on, I sold my documentary and I can't really talk about it, but it's moving forward, and that's really
clap.
Right.
Yeah. So that's been about 4 years in the making. So
does that mean my documentary's next?
Yeah.
And how's the ankle doing? Are you 80%, 90%, 100%?
I may be at about 75, and I do physical therapy, which is painful, very, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So I think literally, I think it's like a year. It's going to take a year. So I'm halfway there, a little more than halfway.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You're
Well-
almost a ninja again. Once you perfect that, you know, you're gonna have like some really serious ninja kickability there.
That's right.
That's
With all
right.
that metal, I have a lot of metal in my legs.
You're gonna be able to throw a roundhouse and take out like a whole bunch of people at one.
I hope
So
so.
I want to introduce our special guest.
All right on.
He's standing by in the wings, waiting to join us. His name is Fernando Pullum. For those of you that don't know Fernando Pullum, Fernando is, I would say, a music legend in the teaching world. Fernando Pullum has the Fernando Pullum Performing Arts Center, and we're bringing him in right now. Hopefully he's there he is, the one and
There he
only,
is,
the man, Fernando Pullum. So Fernando, I'm giving him a little background on you. Fernando basically taught one of the first music magnet programs at Washington High School, probably 25, 30 years ago. You started there, Fernando?
1984.
Right
So
on.
I can't do math that great right now, but that sounds like a long time ago.
It's a long time ago.
It's a couple of years after I graduated. So Fernando taught for about 20 years at Washington High School, music magnet. 100% of his students that went through that program in a rough school, in a rough neighborhood where a lot of kids typically don't end up going to college, went on to college or some secondary form of education. Fernando's got his Performing Arts Center in Leimert Park, where he's been doing performing arts and music with kids, and his kids have worked with and performed with everyone, Stevie Wonder and Jackson Brown and Dr. John and Ricky Minor, and you name it, like his kids, John Legend. So Fernando, welcome to the show.
Welcome,
All right.
and thank you for all your
I'm actually getting off my Zoom calls. My class is going on.
Wait,
One
are
of my
you
former
two-timing
students-
us? Are you two-timing us?
I'm two-time you. You know Ryan
We're
Porter,
live.
who plays for Kamasi, Washington. He was one of my students too, and he's
What?
teaching on my students' Zoom right
That's
now.
right. Kamasi, Washington was one of Fernando's students, just to kind of.
No. I've been counting him forever, but this is Ryan Porter on my Zoom call and my students, and Ryan is the trombonist with Kamasi, and so. Yeah, I used to yell at him forever and ever and ever because he was terrible. Now he's way better than I am. That's the beauty of it all.
Also, Fernando's a pretty amazing trumpet player, and he's played with Fishbone, played with Earth, Wind and Fire, Taj Mahal, played with a lot of different people. So Fernando,
Heavy heavies.
yeah, there you go. So Fernando's been around, bit of a music legend there, if I don't say so. So Fernando, just a quick intro of our crew. We have Derek Day up here. Derek Day plays the guitar, and we all learned 2 weeks ago he plays the piano as well. And he's an amazing singer and performer. We have Scott Page, who plays the saxophone and played with Pink Floyd, Supertramp, Toto, a million other people. Obviously, you know Norwood. Kenny Olson played with Kid Rock in the Twisted Brown Trucker Band, played with the Hendrix Experience after Jimmy passed away. Just an amazing guitar player also. Sheila Carter. Yeah. Go ahead.
Why am I on this call? You got the who's who. Why am I here?
Hey, you didn't.
Like,
You
what the
didn't.
heck? Hey, so Kenny, are you from Michigan?
Yep.
You
Sure am.
You from Detroit?
Yep. You know,
Okay,
Detroit.
because I used to play. I went to Michigan. I played at Marcus Belgrave's band.
Uh-huh.
I still probably know the same people.
Oh yeah, you and I probably know a lot of the same people from there.
Oh wow, because I was in Eddie Nuccelli and I played with Johnny Trudell.
Yep.
Oh,
So yeah, we know the same. I'm sure that we know the same people.
Oh, we got to get. I mean, it would be an honor for you and I to get together. And I'm back and forth right now between LA and Michigan, so I'll be, we'll definitely got to, I think it's exchange numbers and stuff too. I would love to. I know you and I got a lot of friends that we've worked with a lot of the same people.
Y'all on
And
the
Kirk
same.
Scott played.
Y'all probably on the same Trulio track and don't know it.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
That's
I
right.
bet you know what. I bet you we've been on a few tracks together, even in just to that whole, because that whole circle, we've definitely. And Norwood knows too. We've ran, in that Detroit and LA and the whole little scene in it's a beautiful thing.
well, it's an honor to be amongst you all.
Yeah, no, the pleasure is mine. This is cool. Very cool.
Well, we appreciate you popping in at the last second here, Fernando. Thank you. What do you got going on, Fernando? Like, what's life been like during COVID-19 for you?
Well, Norwood's going to teach on Zoom for us too. He just didn't know it yet. But but we've been having, and I'm going to invite you guys too. So thank you for opening up this treasure chest for me. But thus far, I had John Mayer teaching. I had Winter Marcellus, Chris McBride. All these guys are teaching. The guy who directed Game of Thrones, because it gets to be quite Kamasi Todd. Terrence Martin is teaching on Thursday. Then I have Billy Childs coming on to teach. We're just trying to keep these guys active and inspired to play. I know the kids are gonna record with Jackson Brown and Michael McDonald, and John Mayer. So we've been trying to engage them and inspire them to live up to their potential. Everybody, I hear people saying that underprivileged and underserved, they're not underprivileged, they just haven't had an opportunity yet. So that's what, that's the type of population that David works with and Norwood, they reach into the community and presenting these gems to the world. So that's what we're trying to do, just let people understand their whole power.
So when you say you're teaching, like, what do you mean? How are you teaching? Are they coming in? How are you teaching right now?
I'm teaching. I've been teaching exclusively on Zoom for a moment, but on Tuesday we're going to have a live rehearsal because I'm in the Merck Park, so I have two spaces now. I have my traditional location. I teach 850 kids pre-classes.
Wow.
And so now I'm gonna, I had to get the location next door, and so I was socially distance them, and then there's these outdoor spaces that I know everyone in the neighborhood. I'm just go plug some stuff in by the park, because it's safer outdoors, and start playing some tunes, and then go to Jackson Brown studio and record them.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, talk a little bit about, because it's just crazy right now, like teaching Zoom. So you've been doing all these different Zoom classes and having all these amazing legends sit in. But normally, when we're not in COVID-19, what do you talk a little bit about your performing arts center?
Well, like I said before, we have 850 kids now. Was initially started out trying to get 100, and then the demand became so overwhelming because kids have nothing to do, and especially quality things to do. And then we give, they played the American Music Awards with Sierra and Missy Elliott, so they get real lifetime, real life musical opportunities. Norwood's played with the kids a number of times. Jackson, Crosby, Stilson, Nash. I mean, so we do all those kind of things. Then I have a theater program. I have a recording program. I have a film program. I have a dance program, because not everyone will want to play music. So I'm trying to build a big enough net to capture their time, their mind, just get steered into something positive. Because if you leave any kid unattended, I don't care where they are, in Beverly Hills, the hood, it doesn't matter. They're gonna start messing up stuff. That's what we do. Our curiosity and boredom will get to us, and we start messing up stuff. So I try to keep them engaged as possible, and then we feed the homeless like 3 days a week. We serve like a minimum of 300 meals. I have the kids to do, and then we phone buddies with people that are in the convalescence homes because you can't go in. And some of those people are isolated and totally discarded. So the kids have to listen to all those stories, you know, and make this. And then also I think this, we owe these people that fought for the opportunities for these kids to get educated. We owe them the opportunity for them to see that their life work wasn't in vain, because all they see on the news is the people doing the dumb stuff. So when we have a great kid to talk to them and say, hey, I'm going to college next year, they say, wow, that picket line I marched, that beating I took, that was worth something. So I'm happy now. It was, you know, so that's what we're trying to do, you know, just.
Let me ask you, with that many kids and at the level of all of them learning, how do you put them through the paces? I mean, do you have like beginning, intermediate, and then they have to graduate to be able to perform with some of these great musicians that you talked about? Or how does that work? How do you manage all of that?
Well, you know, I have a staff it's about 25 people that work for me now. And so they all, here's the thing, because, you know, performing arts, you know, if someone's doing their job, because we have, unlike an English class or math class, they take a test. No one knows what the outcome was. You know, when we do something, the whole public knows. And I first of all, so I said at the beginning of each semester, I said, we're going to do this play, we're going to do this scene, we're going to make a certain film, and then we start back feeding it like this. What do we need to make these things happen? And so we work that way, and then we don't put limitations, because what I found, like the first day jazz festival, and so I mean, it was the biggest lesson that it was a great lesson for me, because I had to create a band, and I didn't even have a band. So I walked in the room and I played a Thad Jones song, and I said, hey, this is a group of kids from New Orleans, and we have to play like this. I passed out the music. It was horrible. It was horrible. Kids were, but we did 8 bars, then we added 8 more bars, then we added 8 more bars. The kids they thought there was a group of kids from New Orleans. So at the end of it, we were able to play the first song, and then I told the two, hey guys, and it taught me a lesson, because had I done it the traditional way, I would have played some elementary school sounding music and then had to play right after Winter Marsalis at the Hollywood Bowl. I couldn't do it. And I learned that the limitations that we have, people tend to project their own limitations on kids. But I always tell some of my friends, they say, how can you do that? Why are you playing that song? They're stupid. They don't know it's hard. Yeah. They have no idea that it's hard. So if I'm playing a B-flat concert, what's the difference between starting on the B-flat major scale and the B major scale? The B major scale, no one plays. It's hard because no one plays it. We always start a B-flat concert. It's infinitely more easier because that's what we told everybody. It would make a difference. I don't believe.
My son basically started playing the drums at age 4, and the drummer and the music that he learned to play to is Little Feat. And if you listen to some of those songs, they're not easy songs to play, but he didn't know. That's just what he keyed in on, and he just started to play it. And I mean, that's an amazing philosophy. It works. I love that. I'll say this, you know, we like Fernando said, I had a nonprofit that we've talked about on previous shows, the Harold Robinson Foundation, and we had a camp in Watts at Markham Middle School, and Norwood and Norwood's current guitar player, Mark Phillips, and Fernando and my son actually came down one day, and set up and did some jamming with the kids. And Fernando brought a bunch of mouthpieces for the trumpet. I don't know what you actually call that.
Yeah.
The
Mouthpiece.
mouthpiece. Okay.
Yeah, that's
See? I'm
correct.
a musician. And he brought a bunch of mouthpieces for the kids. And none of these kids had ever played an instrument before. None of them had ever played a single instrument before in their life. He passed out a bunch of mouthpieces and just taught them how to blow through the mouthpiece and just make noise, and had them blowing quarter notes, you know, just all on point. And me, it was incredible. But at the time the thing was over, there was like a little bit of music happening. Like in just one session, in an hour, the kids were stoked. And we had one kid come up to us after. I don't know if you remember this, Fernando, but this one kid came up to us afterwards, very shy, didn't want to come up. And he basically wanted to know how he could take it further, because this kid just got it. Like you could just see this kid, like something clicked for this kid instantly. So Fernando, you're doing amazing work, you know, turning kids on, and Fernando's not an easy guy to work with. Fernando expects a lot. I mean, Fernando don't mess around. Like he doesn't take it, you know, he will call you out if you're not playing it right and make sure you're getting it right.
Fernando not only played in Fishbone, but after he was gone, he passed us one of his students as a trombonist, J.R. Mott.
Oh, really?
And
Flying J.
Yeah, Jay was like, Fernando had me doing push-ups.
Damn.
That's awesome.
It goes to show to your philosophy. I mean, the first instrument you started everybody out on was a trumpet. That's a simple instrument.
Yeah. You know,
I call it the coil of torture. I was a trumpet player all the way through school until I became a saxophone player, but that thing is one of the hardest instruments on the planet to play. So it was nice that you started them out simple.
you know, but you know what? But see what we call like, yeah, they do push-ups. When a kid makes a mistake, they have to do 5 push-ups. But we don't call it. But what we call it, we call it celebrating. Because if you can find your mistake, you need to celebrate because you can get better. And so the philosophy is that, like, during the rehearsal, if you did 20 push-ups, the next day you're pushing yourself not to only do 15. Then you try to push yourself to do 10. Because what happens is I figured out that all that yelling I'm doing really means nothing, that they have to kind of develop some type of internal motivation and challenge. Because like when we stop, we say, hey, you made a mistake, celebrate. You know, and that's what they do, and they do this celebrating. So it's not just this corporal punishment. The corporal punishment is just running. I said, I just run. I'm gonna forget you out there.
I've had the opportunity to see Fernando's kids play multiple different settings, multiple venues, different things, and I got to tell you, like, over the holidays, his kids, his choir group got to sing at Union Station in downtown in a pop-up concert with John Legend. Like they had this whole room that it wasn't a room, like it was a section of the lobby of Union Station that was closed off, and they had a full stage in there. They had an absolutely incredible sound system. It was some of the best sound that I've ever heard. And John had his piano in there, and John was singing a couple Christmas songs, and Fernando's choir was singing the background vocals with John Legend on, what was the song? It was
War's Over.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
before they went out and performed, they were rehearsing in their little green room, which was, it was just all a cappella. And I have to tell you that it actually brought tears to my eyes listening to these kids play. They were so amazing and so incredible. So the level of skill that his kids perform. Then I saw his kids perform at the NAMM show on the main stage with Dr. John, like Dr. John's band, and his kids came out, and he had a drummer that was like 12 years old, and and a bass player. I forget what the other instrumentation was, but they were amazing. He did a whole performing arts. He did Wizard of Oz for our Camp Ubuntu and brought like the whole performance art, and they performed in full costume and makeup and did Wizard of Oz, like the play for the kids, which was incredible. So again, I am like, you know, I told Fernando at the John Legend concert that he's the real legend right here. You know, if there is a legend.
I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, it's amazing. That's, God bless. That's just so awesome.
But what I want to know, Fernando.
Here we go.
Actually,
Oh yeah, you're the week after Billy Charles. That's what you want to know?
That's a hard act to swallow. No. Can you please tell the story of your first stage dive ever?
Oh my God.
Well,
yeah. So I was with Fishbone, and you know I was inspired because Angelo jumped out the balcony. And I was thinking, like, wow, if he could jump off the balcony, I could jump off the stage. So I'm like tiptoe, making sure everybody's like looking. Please look in my direction. I can't jump out there. Please catch me. So Angelo's like, man, are you trying to see if the water is hot? So I finally jumped off the stage. Well, I had to tell you, the craziest experience I had with Fishbone was Angelo told me, man, you have to sing background vocals. I said, I can't sing, man. You have to sing them anyway. You can sing. I said, okay. And then I started singing. At the end of the week, Angelo said, hey, man, we need you to stop singing. I said, can I do the chants or something? I was enjoying myself. I was terrible. But I really enjoyed singing. But they voted me down. They voted me away from singing.
that's funny.
That horn is your voice, though. You know, got your own. You know, it's awesome.
I was gonna say, well, Fernando, how did you get inspired? I mean, who inspired you to do this? I mean, number one, to play, and then to do what you do now. Where did you get this from?
Well, it was a strange odyssey, and that, well, I couldn't actually talk about this before, but now I can, because I was teaching. I think when you try to help someone else, what in reality you end up helping yourself.
Oh yeah,
totally. And
totally.
And so both my parents were drug addicts. My mom was a prostitute across the street from my junior high school. So I literally saw people murdered when I was growing up, like up close and personal. I've seen everything under the sun. So, and you know, my family members, my grandmother was one of the neighborhood drug dealers. They started the Vice Lords in Chicago. So it was like, you know, I was destined to be a criminal. That's what people, you know, predicted for me. I was like ultra violent because if someone discovered my mom was a prostitute, I just want them to know I would hurt you. And so I was just super, super aggressive. So then I picked up a horn, I made a sound, and it was like, and then people applauded. And I think the acknowledgement of, I think the sound of applause is the most addicting thing that you can possibly give to a human being. You know, it said we've all felt it. We've all felt that when the audience just goes crazy. Like, what drug is stronger? None. And so I remembered that. And then when I finally, you know, decided I wanted to go to college, you know, I went to University of Michigan miraculously because I lived with my mom my last year, and she was bragging about me getting a scholarship to Grambling and Howard University. So I flunked on purpose because my mom never heard me play. So I flunked on purpose. And then this guy got me into Michigan. And then after I graduated, he said, help 10 people. And I started thinking about that. I think if I help 10 people and I get those people to help 10 people and they help 10 people and so on and so on and so on, we can actually make a profound change in this world. So that's what inspired me to do it.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Great story.
You're so right. You know, when you're teaching people, how much you learn from it. Because if you're not learning, you're not teaching them right. You know, and it's just it's so important with that too. Yeah.
And how's it working out with Zoom and all that? I'm just curious because obviously you're forced into this other situation. Are you adapting to it? Is it working? It seems like it would be easier to get some of the people to come and mentor because it's an easier thing than having to try. But overall, what's the experience been like?
Well, it's been great because first of all, I'm not just like doing Zoom like people normally do Zoom, I don't think. So when I have an artist on, like when I have you on, Scott, they're gonna learn your music. They're gonna play one of your solos back to you. We're gonna be able to talk about your solo. We're gonna take the changes that you played your solo on, and we're gonna play those solos back. So it's gonna be a real, you know, you're gonna have a tuba player playing your solo. You're gonna have a trombone player playing your solo. You got a bass player playing your solo. So you're gonna get so they're gonna get something, and just to be able to talk to you and be able to dissect what you were thinking about at the moment you played your solo, and then get your, like, man, I played it outside right there. I did, like Kamasi Washington was saying, like, man, I didn't want to play a minor chord. They were playing a minor chord. I just played a major scale on the minor chord. I just wanted to be out and then I see how I can get back. I can go out and come back. So just having those experiences that people that you never be able to talk to, and have real experiences, not just some cat marking time on Zoom, you know, it becomes a lot more powerful. And then you as an artist, like, man, you know, like I had Wayne Shorter teach a class for me, and Wayne Shorter just
your internet, your Wi-Fi is cutting in and out, Fernando.
Okay, I say Wayne Shorter typically does not talk. But when we played music for Wayne Shorter, he had a starting point. Like when you're playing music with an artist, they said, like you walk into a room of kids, like you don't know what level they're on. If they even at a low level, if they play something, you know where they are, and then you can actually have a decent conversation. So that's why I make it a point to learn. I don't want to waste your time. We're gonna know about you, and we're gonna know about your music, so we can have a decent dialogue.
That's great. That's actually some of the most interesting. Well, as an artist myself, you always want to know what was that person thinking? How do they think about music? Not so much playing the notes. I mean, it's one thing to learn to play the notes and the scales, but it's really like what's going through your mind. I mean, I'm always curious about, you know, how people are thinking, what's going on in the head. So that's fantastic. I hadn't heard that like that before, but that's actually an interesting teaching style to bring in the solo and then break it down and talk about it with people like that. That's fantastic. Excellent.
Yeah. And we'll for sure like connect, like you guys should, I mean, watching Fernando teach is really a treat also, because he is a special person, and he does connect with the kids in a way that, you know, most people don't or can't. So the kids are very lucky in Lemert Park to have Fernando, and I, you know, I'm ready for another dinner in your backyard. We just need to like be able to hang out together. So I think we're kind of getting down towards the end of the show here.
Let's do that.
And we kind of lost you, Fernando. There you go. We're getting down towards the end of the show here. Hey, Norwood, I know that you got something special for us planned tonight. Do you have 1, 2 songs? Do you have more? Like, what do you got? What do you guys got? We got about.
I think we could do a couple.
So we got about 15 minutes left. You guys want to do a couple of songs, and then we'll close it out?
All right. All right. Let me come out of Southern California.
Wait, you got to go from one timeline to another. Your backdrop. I want to see you go to LA to San Diego.
LA to San Diego. Here we
go.
Wow, look at you, got a person there.
All right.
I gotta say, that person sitting next to you is one of my favorite people on this planet. I love that girl, boy. Beebs is the best.
I love you, Scott Page.
Thank you.
So give us a little intro before you guys play, since I mean we all know and love Beebs, but for those of you out there watching that don't know Beebs, Norwood, why don't you give us a little intro on Beebs?
Well, Beebs is one of the most amazing in so many ways people that I've met in the last 10 years. I met her. When I met her, Beebs was a Florida native. She had her band Beebs and her Moneymakers. that was electrifying, amazing stage show. Like, and we just, once we connected, we just kind of clicked up and we just started doing stuff together. Like our bands have done mini shows, like tour festivals, some touring stuff. You know, she's industrious.
Yes, that is for sure.
Like I've got many layers to the onion.
Yeah.
And your band, the Moneymakers, you did the Warp Tour how many times?
Five.
Five times out on the Warp Tour.
5 brutal hot summers of art in parking lots across the country. It was fun.
Yeah. And the other thing about Beebs is she's definitely doesn't live in a black and white world.
No, it's called, fashion must be your first line of defense in your vibe, you know? Like, I don't have to say anything if I walk into a room and I'm wearing heart sunglasses, you know what vibe I'm coming with, you know? And I think, especially in a world where everyone's wearing masks and covering their faces, it's important to bring as much sunshine into the world as you can, just even to hold yourself accountable in that vibe. Like, I can't walk around wearing heart sunglasses acting like an asshole to people, you know? Like,
well, you can.
For those,
you can.
Hey, Beebs, those heart glasses you have are the windows to a beautiful soul. So.
Aw, Kenny.
And before you guys start, talk about that mic for a second, would you?
Actually, yeah, I finally got connected. The Lewitt LCT 240 Pro. It's been in effect this whole show. My first time using it. You know, and thank you to Lewitt.
So Lewitt is one of our sponsors. We're just waiting on another piece of software or interface hardware so that we can all use our mics. And I think by our next show, every one of us is going to have our Lewitt mics up live and going. So on that note, Beebs and Norwood, why don't you take it away?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey!
It's a new day, wake up, be lovely. Yeah.
Hey!
It's a new day, Yeah.
Hey!
It's a new day, wake up, be lovely. Yeah.
Hey!
It's a new day. I've been thinking lately that I should play cool. I know there's many exceptions to the rule. So many that there's just no wrong or right. And I'm gonna do the songs that I write. And not stress about the time, not stress about the hustle. I just worry about myself, trying not to shuffle. Too many things around up in my head. So I do that now when I pick myself up and say, hey, yeah.
Hey!
It's a new day. Yeah.
Hey!
It's a new day. Yeah.
Hey!
It's a new day. Wake up, be lovely. Yeah.
Hey!
It's a new day. See the vibes never lie and the truth always elevates. Vibes never lie and the truth always resonates. Memories like hoops, medicate, levitate. Yeah, he ate the party that he never made. Hop in the drop top, light his shop, watch like his top notch, not watch. When you see the same thing, don't make it visual. Just a weather, just an individual. Well, stop selling dreams I ain't never bought them. I only see solutions, I don't see no problems. They cut the tree down, they afraid to garden, a pardon. They heard the herb is a problem. They give the curse and knowledge. Oh, you make every modified. You know the root of the tree can't be compromised. He who writes a song will let her write herself. If not to sound like everybody else. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey.
It's a new day, 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 day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey.
It's a new day. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, it's a new day. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, it's a new day, 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 day. It's a new day, 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 day. It's a new day, 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 day. It's a new day. Wake up, wake up, love it, love it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay, so wait, and so you know, like that dude over my shoulder right here, the Jimi Hendrix painting, like that's another one of them things that Beebs got in her back pocket, and she pulls paintings like that out her ass every now and again.
Look at, wait, I have that same painting right here.
Yeah. and actually really one of the most incredible things, and maybe she could talk a little bit about it, maybe there's more to be talked about later, is what she does with the Sidewalk Project.
Well, let's talk about it. We got a few minutes. Talk about it, Beebs.
Cool. Hi. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. The Sidewalk Project is something that my friends started. Emily from Punk Rock and Paintbrushes, my friend Stacey D from a band called Bad Cop, and my friend Soma. And it's a organization that we go down into, it's on Skid Row, and we go down into different houseless communities. Like I said, it started in Skid Row, and we bring music and art, you know, to the people, and we learn from them, and we do jam sessions, and we bring food and barber schools and shower trucks, and we just try to be good neighbors, you know. And it's not so much about you know, like helping one another, like the amount of wisdom and lessons and just perspective that the people of this strong community of Skid Row have given me is priceless. Like they've given me so much more than I feel like we'll be able to repay. But it's really beautiful because it started in the punk rock community, you know, and we started like having tampon drives at shows. So if you brought a box of tampons, you get $5 off a ticket. And we just bring all that stuff down to the community. These are things you don't think about when you're a woman and you're in the streets and you don't have access to a bathroom every day. And maybe you don't have all the supplies you need just to simply exist as a woman, you know, and just simple things like that. And the most beautiful part is I've met so many amazing artists, one of them being Radio. She lives down in Skid Row. She is one of the baddest vocalists I've ever heard in my entire life. There's a video of the Sidewalk Project band jamming with her, but we just involved different musicians when pre-COVID, you know, whoever was home from the road, we put together the Sidewalk Project band. Now there's one in San Diego, Venice, up in Vegas, Phoenix, Arizona. We have instructions on our website of how you can start one. And Sidewalk Project just became we just established the first needle exchange program in 26 years in LA County, which is really cool. And we're very excited about that. So we do a lot of harm reduction and Narcan training and CPR training with our volunteers, but it is all based in, you know, music and art, and where, you know, where love is shared, you know, people come together and it's beautiful. When we're down there, there's all different people, you know. The girl that started it is a dominatrix and fights for sex worker rights. My other friend is a musician in a punk rock band, and the other girl is a now sober former addict who runs art shows for musicians that also make visual art. So it's like we have all these different people that follow all of us into Sidewalk Project, and we're down there, people from the trans community or, you know, whoever it is. And when we're all down there, no one's questioning anyone of what color they are, what gender they are, what their background is. We're just genuinely sharing a moment. I've given my phone number to more people in Skid Row than I ever have after a show, for sure. Like the vibe is so good. Like it's just such raw vibe to remember that we're all human beings, you know, we're all human beings and we're sharing this together, and we have to be good to one another and learn and listen. And it's just been a really beautiful experience. So you can go to the sidewalkproject.org to learn more about it. But it's right now we're working on trying to put together a virtual festival and hopefully a physical festival when that's available, and just continuing to spread the word. A lot of bands have been attaching Sidewalk Project to their donate a percentage of their proceeds. So everyone's been contributing, and it's been really beautiful. You know, it's really beautiful
Wow.
experience.
So Beans, I think I'm going to change your name. You're Disneyland on two legs. You just make stuff happen. You look. I mean, I know we can't see what you're wearing, but I know it's rocking.
Colorful.
I love you, Beebs. You're so awesome. What
I
you
love
do.
you guys. Thank you. Everyone in this group does the most beautiful things. Fernando, just listening to your story, I was like tearing up in the back, just like that. So beautiful, not only for you paying it forward and giving education to other people, but also being so raw and honest in your own story. And I think the world needs more of that, so that we all know that we're not alone and we've all been through struggles and we're here for each other. We're warriors in pain, you know, and because of that, we can be warriors of light, you know, so.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's nice hearing you. You sound great.
Oh, thank you so much. You're incredible.
Say your website one more time, babes.
The sidewalkproject.org is where you can find out information about Sidewalk Project or how you can start your own. And that's kind of the cool thing, is you can start your own. It's just a matter of getting up and doing it and moving forward with no judgment and a lot of love in your heart and a lot of willingness to learn and not think that you know everything.
Yeah.
So we're down to we have about a minute and a half left of the show. I just want to, wrap up by thanking you, Fernando, for joining us.
Fernando.
I love you. You're a great dude. And I can't wait to hang out with you again really soon.
And
I'm up in Humboldt, so who knows when we're coming back. But when we come back.
Can we ask Fernando how to reach him, or if he needs any help? I mean, what's
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to call you. I know David, but we're at pullumcenter.org, Pullum Center, CENTR.org. But yeah, I'm gonna have your numbers.
Yeah, we got to exchange numbers. You and I know a lot. We have a lot of mutual friends too, and I'm looking forward to us.
I'm gonna connect all of you with Fernando, and you guys should all jump on and teach a segment on his.
Anytime.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Looking forward to it.
And we want to thank Lewitt Microphones for sponsoring the show.
Yay.
Thank EXP from the earth. Check us out at fromtheearth.com. We're opening up our brand new store in Long Beach really soon, like maybe next week. We're hoping. It's super exciting. We're excited.
Can we shout out to Mark Armentano and Eric Roy and Graham and Garrett and Beebs? They've been helping us behind the scenes. We're getting there. We're getting bigger and better. So thank you guys.
Yeah, and Eileen Shapiro and those folks.
Eileen, yeah.
Eileen.
And
yes,
Eileen. Of course, our lost brother, Stephen Perkins, who couldn't join us tonight because he's actually working, which is a cool thing.
Wow.
These days, right?
Wow. They're up to something good over there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There's definitely some surprise coming out for all of us to see.
Yeah, if you see, here he is. There's Perkins when he called us and said we're still working.
Yeah.
All right.
Masked up.
Okay,
so on that note, you guys, we're gonna close the show out with our regular weekly closeout. Here we go.
Okay.
And there you have it. Thanks, everybody.
There you have it.
All right.
Thank you.
See you